Hey everyone, in this project, I built an interactive JavaScript quiz application using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Let me first show you how the application works from a user's perspective before we jump into the code. When we open the application, we can see a landing page containing a heading and a start button. As soon as the user clicks start button, the landing page disappears and the quiz card becomes visible. At the same time, a countdown timer starts running. Each question contains four multiple choice options and the user has 5 seconds to answer it. One interesting feature is that when the timer reaches 0, its color changes to red, giving a visual indication that time has expired. If the user selects an option and clicks save answer, the answer is stored, the next question appears and the timer resets for the next question. If the user tries to save without selecting an option, an alert message appears asking them to select an option. Another feature is automatic question progression. If the timer reaches 0 and the user has not selected any option, the application automatically moves to the next question and treats that question as unanswered. This process continues until all questions have been completed. For the last question, the save answer button automatically changes to submit after submission, and after submission, the application displays an analyzing screen with a loading bar that gradually fills from 0% to 100%. Once analysis is completed, the final score is displayed to the user. Now that we understand that how the application works, let's look at the JavaScript logic behind it. The first important section is the question array. I stored all questions inside the array of objects. Each object contains 3 properties: the question itself, an array of 4 options, and the index of the correct answer. Index, or you can say value of the correct answer. Using an array of objects makes the application scalable because adding a new question only requires adding another object to the array. That's why I use the array of object. Next, I used query selector to grab all the elements such as button, timers, and result card, etc. The next important function is the switch question function. This function is responsible for changing questions. Whenever it runs, it updates the question text, options, etc. Inside it, I also run a timer function. So whenever the question function works, the timer function runs too. After displaying the current question, the index variable is increased, so the next call loads the next question. The function also checks whether the user has reached the last question. If so, the button text changes from save answer to submit answer. So another major part of the project is the timer functionality. As I said earlier, the timer is implemented using setInterval. Every second, the timer value decreases and the displayed countdown update on the screen. As you can see, it's set to 5 right now. One important thing that I learned here is the use of clearInterval. Before starting a new timer, I cleared the previous interval, because without clearing the previous interval, every new question would start under the timer while the old timer continues running, resulting in multiple timers running simultaneously. And this creates a lot of bugs. When the timer reaches 0, the application automatically stores the answer state or answer's value and switch to the next question. The next section is answer handling. I created an array called user answer to store all user responses. So whenever the user clicks save answer, the selected radio button's value is extracted and pushed into the array. If no option is selected and the timer expires, I pushed a special value instead. Here I use 5 as the value. This helps the application distinguish an answered question from an answered one. I also which was creating a big problem and took around 2 to 3 hours of mine to debug it. I also created a function called empty input, which clears all the radio input selection whenever a new question loads. This ensures that answer from the previous question do not remain selected accidentally. Finally, after all the questions are completed, the testing function calculates the score. The function loops through every question and compares the user's answer with the correct answer stored in the question array. So if they match, the score increases by 1. After the score is calculated, the result card dynamically displayed the final score using JavaScript. So through this project, I practiced several core JavaScript concepts including arrays of objects, DOM manipulation, event listener, functions, conditional logic, and timer using setInterval, clearInterval, form validation, dynamic content updates, and score calculation. This project helped me understand how multiple JavaScript concepts work together to build a complete interactive application rather than isolated exercises. Thank you for watching.